Chapter 1, Introduction. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. Philippians chapter 4, verse 12. It is a common saying that there are many people who are neither well when they are full, nor when they are fasting. If they are in affliction, then they are obstinate and discontented. If they are in a state of prosperity, they are unruly. Just like children, they cry and are obstinate if you do not let them have what they want. But if you do let them have what they want, then they are unruly. They cannot behave orderly either way. There are some people who are of such irritable and unpleasant dispositions that no matter what condition they are put into, they are obnoxious. There are some who have unpleasant hearts, and they are unpleasant in every circumstance they encounter. But Paul, by the work of the grace of God, was fitted for all circumstances, not only for affliction, but if God willed that he be prosperous, then he could tell how to make use of that. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. Philippians chapter 4, verse 12. But what were the specific circumstances that led Paul to make these statements? Context of the passage. Besides the apostolic call Paul had to preach to all nations, he had a special, extraordinary call to preach to these Philippians. And a vision appeared to Paul in the night. There stood a man of Macedonia, and prayed him, saying, "Come over into Macedonia, and help us." Acts chapter 16, verse 9. Philippi was the first place in Macedonia where he preached. It was a chief city in that part of Macedonia. Chapter 16, verse 12. But was Paul encouraged by the fruit of this extraordinary call? One would have thought that the people would have immediately come to embrace the gospel, that the hearts of the people would have been mightily stirred. But Paul's preaching was, at first, not so successful. The first Sabbath that he went there, he went to a riverside to preach. Did the nobles, the magistrates, the gentry, or the chief citizens come out to hear him? No, only a few women came out to hear him, for verse 13 says, "We sat down, and spake unto the women which resorted thither." Did the word of God have any effect on any of the women? Yes, for it says that a certain woman named Lydia, a seller of purple, of the city of Thyatira, which worshipped God, heard us, whose heart the Lord opened. Chapter 16, verse 14. Though he had no better success at first, it was possible that his preaching might prove more successful afterward. The next thing we hear of Paul is that he, along with Silas, was dragged rudely before the magistrates by the multitude, accused of troubling the city. The magistrates viewed Paul and Silas as vile men, guilty of horrible things, and became enraged against them. They tore their clothes and whipped them. They put them into prison, where they were thrust into the dungeon and put into stocks. Was this the fruit of Paul's wonderful call of God, his vision from heaven? And was it such fruit as this that encouraged a man of such a mighty apostolic spirit as Paul to come to Philippi to preach? Oh, what sad and discouraging circumstances some men encounter in the work that God has called them to. Learn by this never to conclude that a work is not of God just because you encounter discouraging circumstances at first. Pour your hearts out to God and rest in His call. Good fruit will come about in the end. The spirits of Paul and Silas were not disheartened by this lack of success, for in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 2, Paul tells us that, "Even after that we had suffered before, and were shamefully entreated, as ye know, at Philippi, we were bold in our God." There was finally a church in Philippi that was as free from contamination and as eminent in godliness as any. Though men may scheme, condemn, and cast dirt upon a certain movement, even stirring up the authorities and the people against it, still it may prevail at last.